Speaking of QAnon conspiracy nuts, the QAnon Shaman got sentenced to 41 months for his role in the Capitol riot. Jacob Chansley, the self-styled QAnon Shaman, who became one of the faces of the January 6th attack on the Capitol after storming the building in a fur headdress with horns, has been sentenced to nearly 3.5 years in prison for his role in the riot. Photographs of a bare-chested Chansley carrying a bullhorn and a spear adorned with the American flag while howling in halls of the Capitol became some of the iconic images of that violent, chaotic day. At a hearing Wednesday in U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C., Judge Royce Lamberth sentenced Chansley to 41 months in prison. Although he will be given credit for roughly 10 months he has already served. You didn't slug anybody, but what you did here was actually obstruct the functioning of the whole government, Lambert said. You know what you did was wrong. I admire you for being able to come to terms. The Justice Department says Chansley was among the first 30 rioters to enter the Capitol on January 6 as the crowd of Donald Trump supporters overwhelmed police, bashed in windows, and pushed into the building. The mob forced lawmakers to flee and temporarily abandon their certification of Joe Biden's election win. Chansley was arrested days later and indicted on 6 charges, 2 of which were felonies, and ordered detained pending trial. He ultimately struck a deal with the government and pleaded guilty in September to a single count of obstruction of an official proceeding. At Wednesday's hearing, Chansley addressed the court for around 40 minutes. He said he has spent much of his time he's been locked up reflecting on his life and his actions on January 6th. Men of honor admit when they're wrong, not just publicly, but to themselves, he said. I was wrong for entering the Capitol. I have no excuse whatsoever. The behavior is indefensible. According to court papers on January 6th, Chansley made his way into the Capitol and onto the floor of the Senate, where he scaled the dais. After a police officer asked him to leave, Chansley refused and said Mike Pence is a fucking traitor. On the desk at the dais, Chansley scrawled a note on a piece of paper that read, "It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming." Chansley also led rioters in an incantation over his bullhorn, which he concluded the words, "Thank you for allowing us to get rid of the communists, the globalists, and the traitors within our government." At Wednesday's hearing, Chansley admitted he was guilty, but also said he was not a dangerous criminal. I am not a violent man. I am not an insurrectionist. I am certainly not a domestic terrorist, Chansley told the court. I am a good man who broke the law, and I am doing everything I can to take responsibility for that. He said he struggled with mental health issues for years, a problem exacerbated by being locked up. He also said his time in custody has taught him a lesson. I will never reoffend again, he said, and I will always, from here on forward, think about the ramifications of everything that I do and what it is I say and how it will be perceived. Bullshit. These people don't fucking change. They're going to say whatever it takes to appease the court. I'm sure his attorneys had him memorize that real fucking nice because that's what their job is, to make him look fucking good. Before announcing his sentence, Judge Lambert told Chansley he believes that his remorse is genuine and heartfelt, but he also told Chansley that what you did was terrible. He said Chansley had made the right decision to plead guilty and to take responsibility for his actions instead of going to trial where he faced a much longer possible sentence. You are facing 20 years, Mr. Chansley. The one advantage you get here is you're only facing 41 months now, Lambert said. It may not feel it today, but let me guarantee you, you were smart and did the right thing. The sentence handed down was less than the 51 months the Justice Department had recommended for Chansley, whom prosecutors described as the flag bearer of the Capitol riot. Assistant U.S. Attorney Kimberly Pascal told the court at the start of the hearing that such a sentence was necessary to send a strong message to Chansley and anyone who would wish to do the harm to the country. The message today, she said, is don't think that your illegal actions come here without consequences. Good on her. I am glad this motherfucker is going to jail, because he is one of the biggest mouthpieces. I'm telling you, you take down the ones at the top, the rest of the tower is going to fall. And that's what's happening here. Finally, he should definitely be locked up for 41 months. Probably fucking longer. No question. His dumbass wants to go to 4th Ave. Too bad Tent City is gone. Yeah, he can't go to 4th Ave because that's considered a jail. He's got to go to a prison. He'd have to, if he was going to stay in Arizona, he'd have to go to Florence. I'm pleased with the 41 months. And I'm pleased that some of these judges are not letting these motherfuckers off the hook. That's what needs to happen. Trump supporters are now saying he's not actually a Trump supporter. Oh my God. Yeah, no, this guy was standing for Trump 100% because he was at every single one of his rallies. He was around way before the insurrection. This guy was like a major fucking like scene every time that Trump had a rally anywhere. He was there. So, you know, I guess, you know, really the basic thing about this shit is where it all lands is we're seeing some justice, but you know, as much as I'm happy that we're seeing this, I'm just really hoping, I'm really fucking hoping that this isn't the end of it. I'm hoping that all of them get at least sentences like this. I heard one about a guy that actually assaulted one of the officers, and I don't think that he got as much time as this guy did. And that's concerning. So I'm going to hold out hope that more people get, you know, sufficient sentences. Jacob Chansley is a good start because he was the most recognizable in the media, and it does send a strong message. But if you're not getting the most violent ones and slamming their asses into the fucking jail cell for a long ass fucking time, then it doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference. Because it's the ones who are most violent that we really have to send the message home to. I think this guy probably does have mental health issues. I truly do. If you watch him and the way that he acts and the way he's acted all throughout all this shit, I think he probably does. I think he's got significant mental health issues. And it sucks that he was preyed upon by shit like QAnon. But that's what happens. These are the type of people they look to find. They want these kinds of people. They're fucking vulnerable. They're easy to pluck up and manipulate and control. And he went all the way with it. All the way to fucking jail for him. If you get to that place where you think that, like, this is a shit going on, you know, and you've got people trying to convince you at all fronts, and you find that your time's being occupied by these people, and they continue to find ways to you know, strip away your friends, your family, and align you with them, and keep pulling you back in. They always have something for you to do, right? Even if it's a little menial task. You're being pulled into a fucking cult type environment atmosphere. And it's a dangerous one. And it's very fucking dangerous because they take control little by little, not all at once. Some of those things were like, yeah, I know you're going to your mom's house for dinner, but we could really use your help on this. Can you come and help us this one time? Like, I know you've got all this other stuff to do. And so then you go and help them, right? And then once you're there, then they've got other stuff for you to help them with, right? And then there's something else and something else and then something else. And before you know it, you haven't talked to your family in months. You haven't talked to any of your close friends in months. You're not working at the same job anymore. Now you're working for some place where other people who are sharing this thought process are working. That's a cult mindset cycle that you're jumping into. And these leaders of these kinds of groups are very, very effective at doing this. They will prey on smart people as well as dumb people. There's usually some kind of vulnerability. And these are the things that drive people like Jacob Chansley to do what he did. He is a symptom, just like Paul Gosar is a symptom of the issues with the Republican Party. Jacob Chansley is nothing but a symptom of the broader disease infecting the QAnon movement, which the QAnon movement in and of itself is the fucking disease. But I think 41 months is good. That's a win for us. I just want to see these guys that hurt these police officers, that killed these police officers. I want their asses to be fucking like set up, dude, like set on fire in a manner of speaking, not literally, but I want their asses in fucking jail. I want their asses in prison for a long fucking ass time.